Oi, 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 it's Lads Product Reviews.
You know the lads, the ones out there making their own ham.
She knows about the ham again, lads. What are we gonna do? We bury it. That's what we'll do. We'll bury it. No one will find it in the ground. And then when we're done, we'll be famous. We can buy things. I don't know. Alright. Welcome back to Lads Product Reviews. We are going to be doing the review real quick for the Kizer Seagull. Hopefully you saw the unboxing for it a couple of days ago. I've had some time to carry it around, and it is about as awesome as I thought it was going to be. Woo! Sorry about that. I just bonked into my tripod. One thing I was really excited about is it looked like this knife had came out not too long ago. I looked up on Kizer's Facebook page, and it came out on September 1st. So it has not been out for very long at all. And I kind of just stumbled across it on their Amazon page. Real fast, we're going to mention that this does come in 4 different handle treatments. You've got a tan color aluminum, a blue, what they're calling a rich light blue canyon. That looks like it's a micarta, a G10 micarta, and then this gray micarta. All of the knives come in 14C 28N, except for some reason the black G10 comes in AABL. I actually didn't do any research into that version. So for today, we're going to be talking just about the 14C 28N, and we'll talk about the gray micarta, because that's the one I got, because I really liked the way the gray micarta looked on the pictures on their Amazon site, and I kept going back to it. It is a rough, grippy micarta instead of like a smooth finish. I would say it almost feels like denim, actually. Real quickly, we'll go into the deployment methods, because the deployment methods on this knife make it pretty unique. You got a back flipper. I should have cleaned this blade earlier because I was using it for boxes. It's got some tape residue. Front flipper, back flipper, deployment holes. Actually, as a matter of fact, I do have a microfiber cloth here. So, it also has a liner lock instead of a button lock or a crossbar lock or any other number of popular lock types out there right now on the market. I really like the finish on the blade. Unfortunately, it did get kind of gummed up with some tape earlier, and I should have cleaned it before I went and did the review. It's been a real long week, though, so I didn't think about doing that. But I do like the finish and the polish on this. I also like the colors for the pivot and the back spacer with the lanyard hole right here. I also really like the the pocket clip. It's got these recessed screws, and then the pocket clip itself, nice polished finish, very small with the Kizer logo right there on the pocket clip. Having trouble getting my camera to focus on that. And then it doesn't really say a whole lot on the blade itself. You got the Seagull and a 14C28N there, and then on the other side we got the Kizer logo. Real quick, real simple. The scales on the handle, they also kind of seem to have a little bit of a sloping and a little bit of a hump in the center. Very, very comfortable knife, very ergonomic. Um, you also got this choil out here, which is pretty decent sized choil, and it's got jimping, which I haven't. I'm sure there has to be another knife out there with jimping in the choil. I just hadn't come across one before, so I thought that was pretty unique. And then you've got jimping out here, and then jimping way out here. If you wanted to get a lot of leverage, um, so three different jimping spots on this knife. The uh, the action and the sound is really, really good on this thing. And everything I've cut up with the knife, it had no problems. It just went right through everything. I know a lot of people think that the liner lock method is kind of boring right now because of all the different lock mechanisms that we have available to us. But one thing I do love about liner locks, besides the fact that they're strong, very functional locks, is that engagement sound, that click you get from the knife, engaging. It is a really good sound. And this one is one of the best sounding liner lock knives I have had the opportunity to get my hands on. We're going to run through and do a size comparison with some other knives I have. All of my knives are $100 or below, so they are really affordable. But I also think that they are good knives, and we're going to have different size categories. So we're going to start off with our smaller knives. We got the G10 micarta drifter and the James brand Red Rock. As you can see, it is significantly bigger than these two knives. But the drifter actually seems to match with or exceed with the amount of cutting surface there compared to the Seagull. We're going to go ahead and step up to two knives I consider medium. We've got the Icon Harbor Freight D2 ball bearing flipper. We couldn't be bothered to come up with a name, so we just threw a bunch of stuff at a board. And then the Civivi Elementum Button Lock 2. Pretty close as far as working surface with the Elementum, with the Civivi. The Icon has quite a bit more cutting surface. Then we're going to jump up to two larger knives that I own for comparison. We have the CRKT Squid XM button lock and the Spyderco Tenacious. Working with a little bit more cutting surface, it looks like here on the Squid, and the Tenacious has quite a bit more cutting surface than the Kizer does. But like I was saying, you have all of that jimping and a lot of different grip positions that you can use. So that kind of makes up a bit for the smaller cutting surface, work surface that you get on the Kizer Seagull. So I'm going to mention real quick here the blade material, the 14C28N. It's in a lot of ways equivalent to D2 steel. they both kind of have areas where they're strong and areas where they're weak, so they kind of counteract and kind of balance, so they're good to compare. Um, One thing I found that was interesting when I was looking at Kizer's website is they actually say what their HRC is on their 14, the 14C28N. 58 to 59 is their HRC rating. I looked up a little bit, and the HRC rating for 14C28 and is supposed to be good for anywhere between 55 and 62. So you're looking for anywhere between 55 and 62, and this is 58 to 59. So, I mean, potentially they could go a little bit higher with their HRC. I'm sure Kizer's just doing a great job knocking out knives left and right. Um, I'm sure they probably had reasons for going a little bit low 62, but they might have hit the hot spot on the middle there. So it's possible they have done their own testing and whatnot. Um, and they found that it might have been beneficial to not go quite as high as on the high end on 1428C. That being said, we're going to go real quick and do a hardware check. Okay, so this is a T6. Their pivot screw is probably a T8, but I took T6 too. Oh. I think Kizer went T8 on everything. Yeah, we got T8 pivot. We got T8 pocket clip. T8 scale backspacer. Oh yeah, Kizer went T8 on all of it. That's cool. That's great. You only need one screw to take, or one screwdriver to take this apart. One driver. So that's awesome. I didn't even think about that. I kind of figured that they probably did T6 in the pocket clip because everyone's doing T6 and pocket clip, T8 on the pivot. But that's cool that they didn't. Let's go ahead and talk about the liner lock access. It is real easy to get to. They left you plenty of room right there, and when you push that liner lock, it comes down fast. But you've got all of this jimped choil right here, and then a little bit of choil out here. So you don't have to worry about the knife coming down on your thumb, as long as you have your thumb up high enough. This is, I believe they said that this was a drop point blade. Yeah, a hollow grind drop point blade. It's got a really, really cool shape. It's almost kind of leaf-like in a way. I kept thinking it's almost like a mix between a sheep's foot and a regular drop point. The Squid XM's the only real sheep's foot I have, but they're real similar, I feel like, in a lot of ways. Wonder. Nah, that's not helping much. Just thought I'd mess with my light to see if there was a difference there. I kind of feel like they dropped the cutting surface down here just a bit to make it a drop point, which, I mean, drop. So it's got a little bit of a fuller belly. Kind of show the thinness there, and then we'll go back to the back. And so you guys kind of get an idea. I know I could have cleaned it better since I just took a microfiber cloth to it real fast, but it's still a good looking blade. And I really, really like the scales on the handle, like I said before, and the color of the pivot. I think it's a really good looking knife. I kind of, because of the action stuff on it, I feel like it's got an action that you would find on like a way more expensive liner lock knife. Something that was, like at least $150 or $200. I feel like it's just that good, and it's like an $80 knife. So I feel like that's a really, really good deal. The one area where it's kind of like, yeah, we saved a couple bucks here, is on the steel, because they could have obviously made with a higher end steel like a Magna Cut or something, but they would be charging, $180 to $250 depending. So you're getting everything except for that really, really expensive blade still. And not everyone's going to need the Magna Cut. Like, it's a cool idea and everything, and it's great that you could be like, yeah, I have this really, really expensive knife steel, and I can cut through anything. But being able to buy something like this for like $80, $85. What were they listing it again on? Oh, it's actually $70 right now on Kizer's website. So I don't remember what I paid for it off of Amazon, but I think it was probably close to that. And then before I forget, because I was going on about some of the features of this knife, the pocket clip is non-reversible. They didn't put any holes there. The lanyard hole and the backspacer here, I feel like they're way up and out of the way. The pocket clip is up just about as high as they could get it. So when you pocket this knife, it sits way, way low in the pocket, and it's light, and it doesn't have a large footprint, so it is a really easy knife to carry. I really didn't notice it too much when I was carrying it. This the squid feels a little bit bigger in the pocket. You notice it a little bit more. Like I like carrying both, but that's definitely the Seagull's definitely an easier carry. And like I said, it doesn't take up a lot of real estate in the pocket. The pocket clips up way high. It comes out of the pocket real fast, and it's a real smooth pocket clip, so it's not going to like rip your jeans or anything like that when you pull it out. Since we're getting close to the end of the video real quick, I am going to go through and tell you guys to like and subscribe if you like this content. We have links below in the video description for the Patreon and the Instagram. If you want to follow the lads product reviews on Instagram, you can become a Patreon member for $5 a month. We'll be doing product giveaways and product destruction videos for products that we think are junk. But you would, as a Patreon member, get access to that. Also, want to go ahead and mention our affiliate links. If you buy something through our affiliate links, it does help out the channel. We've got King's Camo Outdoor Gear, Priority Tires, Crossman Air Rifles, Raven Crossbows, Try the World International Food Box subscription. We have a partnership with W Energy Drink going. If you click on the link down there, it should automatically put in the code at checkout lads_fuel 2025 for 10% off. But if it doesn't, you just put in the code lads_fuel 2025 for a discount. We also have Traverson Outdoor Supplies, Piscafun Fishing Supplies, Zeal Pet Food. It's a natural, healthy food for your dogs and cats. And then we've got Tide Weed Duck Hunting Supplies. If you make any purchases through those links, it will help support the channel. We will get a commission back. Also, if you are from one of our affiliates and you are watching this video, if you have any products you'd like to send to us for unboxing and testing and review, we would love to show them on the channel. Now that that's done, I'm going to just quickly give my final thoughts on the Seagull. I think it is probably right now my favorite knife that I have. I would definitely recommend it. I think it's a great price point at the... Did I say it was $70? Yeah. Yeah, $70. Yeah, I think it's a great knife at that price point. I like the liner lock. I like the action. Like the sounds. Like the deployment methods. I think this knife looks fantastic. Just trying to see where the balance point is because I didn't do that. That's a narrow balance point, but it is right behind the pivot now that I've gotten it. It looks like it's right behind where that choiling ends. Or the jimping ends on the top of the blade. Yeah, it feels real balanced, feels real light, cuts through everything real easily, real quickly. The sound is amazing. Besides the fact that the pocket clip isn't reversible, I have a hard time finding any faults on this thing. It would have been cool if they did a button lock or a crossbar lock, but I think in not doing a button lock or a crossbar lock, they might have made one of my favorite liner lock knives. And that's cool. It is still a real fidgety knife with multiple ways to deploy it, with the front flipper, the back flipper, and the deployment holes. So yeah, like I said, $70, it feels like it's a way more expensive knife. So I would totally recommend this to anyone. We're going to wrap up this video now. Like I said, like and subscribe. If you see anything in the affiliate links that you might want to make a purchase on, go ahead and use my links. That would definitely help out the channel. Follow us on Instagram. And then if you want to, check out the Patreon. And like and subscribe. We'll just keep trying to do more content like this when we get a chance. But anyways, thanks. Bye.